G'day, so something a bit different from us this week. While we were home for Christmas with the kids, we come across some photos of our first trip away out into the outback with our old car, our old 100 series, which I still own. It's done nearly 400,000 Ks now. So we headed up the Oodnadatta, had a look at Lake Eyre. First campsite where we set the tent up with the kids out at Coward Springs. And this was a memorable night, the Elgabakina Bridge on the Oodnadatta track. We set up underneath it only to have the sun go down and the bridge creaked and groaned all night. And here we have our first ever flat tyre. It was stinking hot, like about 40 degrees where we had to change this tyre. We've only had one touch wood since. Of course, the main reason for this trip was to take the kids to see Ayers Rock and climb it while they still could. It's something that you never forget. And this was the first of many of the walks with the kids. So now we've headed past Hermannsburg into Palm Valley. A nice rocky trip in, but a beautiful campsite. So into Glen Helen Resort and we meet Sue and Graham. And it's been 16 years and 4 trips later. We still travel together. So we donate to these guys wherever we can. A mate of ours on one of our trips had to be airlifted out from Popal Corner out in the middle of the Simpson, and they couldn't do enough to help us. And then, slight change of plans. Instead of heading down the Stuart Highway home for our 2-week trip, we took an extra week and a half and headed across the Plenty Highway with Sue and Graham. And the first of many trips into Birdsville over the years. Then we leave Birdsville, head down the Birdsville track and find the Walker's Crossing track and head over towards Inaminka, where we find a flooded Cooper Creek, which is something you don't see very often. Finally, we finished with a trip out to Silverton and a mine tour just out of Broken Hill. We were there for a couple of days and then we headed home. It was a great trip. So I hope you enjoyed our look back on our original Outback trip. If you want to see more of our trips, like Cape York or the flooded Simpson, or our first trip over the west into the Kimberleys, just let us know.